Hi there, I'm Katie and welcome to the show. Today I'm joined by Lou Collins, who's going to show us how to make a beautiful cuckoo clock pen pot using a really clever Xcut die. We're going to be focusing on some die cutting techniques, including showing you how you can customise your dies to create something completely unique. Hi Lou, welcome along. So you're going to show us this amazing pen pot that you've created. Now, what have you used to make this?
Well, I've used the Xcut Die Set here. It's a cuckoo clock, but I've used it more as a birdhouse. Now, because I'm die cutting quite a large shape, I want to get as much out of a 12 by 12 sheet as possible.
Good, we'd like to be thrifty.
The best way to do that is to pop it to the edge and draw around it, only roughly, so you can see.
Oh, okay.
Not neat lines at all. And then flip it over and fit it on again, and that way get two of these out of a sheet.
Very cunning.
Right, so I'm not going to waste any paper.
And of course your 12 by 12 paper wouldn't fit through your Express,
no, it
would
wouldn't
it? So
quite,
this,
no.
Helps us there as well. There we go.
There we go. So what we're going to do is just glue the two bases together. I'm using hot glue to make it even sturdier than it would be with something like a tape runner, but tape runner's fine. So I'll just give it a few seconds to cool down and smooth any edges. Okay, and we've also got
really cute.
Some scored lines there. So there's one of our bases starting to come together already. So we've got two of the roof pieces here.
Okay.
And again, they're just scored. You've got scalloped cut on one side.
That's very cute.
Fold. So making sure the scallops are both on the same edge. Just join that like that. Okay, now before I stick this on, you could stick it on now if you wanted to make something that wasn't hollow.
Okay.
You could stick this on, build up the front, and you just have a decorative piece.
So that would be a basic, as you would in the design.
But what we're going to do is we're going to gut out the centres of these.
Because we want obviously somewhere to pop our little pens, don't we, there?
So I'm going to mark. I mean, you can either measure it or do like I do, mark roughly, around about 1 centimetre around the edge of each one.
Got you. That's great.
There we go. So then we can use our knife and our ruler to cut this out. Obviously, this isn't any good with a trimmer because
no, you wouldn't get it in the little space there, would we?
So you do really need a nice steel rule. There we go.
Fantastic.
There we go. So what we're going to do now is add this to our bird house at the top. We've already got the tabs on the bases ready. So I would suggest just doing one at a time. If you try and do all four, you can get a little bit wobbly. So make sure my stick's down in there. So I'm using hot glue rather than a cool melt glue stick here. It just gives me a little bit longer to adhere. The cool melt glue gun is fantastic, but you don't get quite as long as you do with the hot melt.
You have to work a little bit faster, don't you?
Yeah, and this is something where I don't want to be working fast, so I'm just joining
one. Gives you a little bit of wiggle room, doesn't it, just to sort of manoeuvre it around
After
a little bit
each
more.
one, fold it over and make sure it's still going to fit. So what we're going to do...
Cute. So you've just made a second one, didn't you?
That's I've got a second one here already. Oh, brilliant. And what I've done on this one, which I haven't done on this one so far, is just inked the edges in brown, which is something you can do if you've got time, or if you want to. So to join the two together, good old hot glue again. Just smear around there. Put it onto a flat surface and line these two peaks up again. And then, because you've got the holes, you can go inside and press them together.
Ah, that's handy.
So that's your base.
Very cute.
Sorted. So the next bit I'm going to do is decorate the front.
Okay.
This is the fun bit, decorating.
Good.
So I'm going to use the die again.
Okay.
On an 8 by 8 sheet of paper. Now I know it won't fit quite, but we just need this bit in the centre, you see. So would you like to run that through for me?
Okay.
Wonderful.
Oh, that worked. That's good.
Fabulous. So you see what I did? I don't want to cover the whole of the front, but I do want this shape minus a slight border.
Oh, I see.
So by die cutting it, you know you've got that shape there.
Got you.
So just use knife and ruler again, and I'm taking around about 1/2 centimetre off of each edge around here. So just check it fits perfectly. Obviously it will go under the scallops at the top.
Lovely.
Yeah, so we'll just using a tape run here because hot glue with this thin paper may show some lumps.
Okay, that's a good tip.
So last bit with the die cutting I'm going to show here.
Lovely.
is I'm using the Leafy Flourishes die.
Oh,
I've cut one out already, and I don't know if you'll notice that's slightly more viney, thinner than the die we've got here.
Yeah, because that's definitely chunkier then.
So I'm just going to show you how to get this effect. So it's nice if you're doing a more delicate piece. So I'm actually going to be using my base plate to cut on, which I don't usually recommend, but I have done it and it doesn't make any difference. It won't cause much damage, but I need to see where my die is going this time. So we're just going to pop that in the middle and die cut it out as you normally would. Okay. Now, lift this off really gently so the die stays in place. Okay. I'm going to lift the die up, try and leave it in the cardstock intact. I want to lay the die over it again, but literally move it around about 1 millimetre one way. Okay. Tiny amount, you can barely see it overlapping any of the edges. And then run it through again.
Oh, that's very clever.
If you have any washi tape, which I do on my one at home, I keep craft tape on the actual machine.
That's a good tip, because we use that lots for positioning dies.
So I just pop that on the top of the die to hold that still. And you see it's just cut out. I don't know if you can see that there. It's just left a bit there, and it makes this very slightly thinner. And a bit more.
Oh yeah, that's lovely and delicate.
Right, so now I'm going to start building up this bit. So we're going to start with the clock. So we've got the scallop circle and the clock face. Okay. And you can do this with hot glue, you can do this with a glue runner, or you can do it with foam pads. Depends how much dimension you want and how quickly you'd like it to set. And I'm lining the lines up with the scallops as best I can. At least the top one anyway. I'm not worried about all the way round, but the top and the bottom, as long as they're central. I love that these peel off really easily.
Yeah, 3D foam pads are not all created equal, are they? There's definitely...
these ones are
they're really
by far the best.
I think there's nothing worse than trying to, well, in crafting, there's nothing worse than getting your backs off your foam pads if they don't work that well.
So I'm popping that quite close to the bottom because we want to put the bird's house up here.
Of course.
And the birdie's house, little doors. So I'm going to fold the doors in. Right, what I'm going to do is construct the bird for you before I pop that on to show how easy it is. They have this odd little bit. Okay. It is an odd looking bit. Again, there's score lines in it, so you can see where to score up to.
Very clever.
And if you use, as long as you use the same colour card, of course, that blends in on there.
So you folded all the little flaps up.
The tail is going to sit on there, and that's going to sit under the body. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add the two sides to the bird first. Basically, the sides are going to be apart, the bottom is going to be glued together. Okay. I'll show you what I mean. So we need a small smidgen of hot glue along there. Not too much, because you will burn your fingers otherwise. And you can curve this round to fit. Now I like to start at the end, slowly join the bird. And once you've got one in the right position, it's easy to add the other one because you've got a guide to go by.
Oh, that's lovely.
One on each side. These are a slightly darker blue.
Oh, that's very cute.
And one on the other side. So I'm going to glue into his tummy there and along the tail where we said we're going to stick it. Just slide in there.
Oh, I see. So that little bracket's exactly the same shape as his tail, isn't it? So you don't see it at all, actually.
No, and if you keep the doors reasonably closed, so he's just popping out.
Lovely.
And you can still bend this upright. There we go, in the centre up the top.
He's got a bit of movement,
he has got a bit
of
a jig there.
He looks like he's just popped out.
Now, this is some of the crocheted lace. Look at this.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
This is from the Botanicals range. So that is just going to cover that join at the top a little bit. And I've also matched my green swirls to this. So I'm going to pop this just on one corner. I'm gluing one side first, get it in position, and then I'll bend it round. If I feel it needs gluing down here somewhere, I will.
I'll just turn him around there.
Now I'm going to use one of the pinwheels, which I think are under you. Okay. I'll take a small one, please.
Just a little one?
Yeah. Pop that on top of mine. on top of the Flourishes. Because it's got an adhesive back, and just pop straight on.
Oh, it's lovely.
And finish with a bow. And of course you can carry on decorating
of course,
to your heart's content.
Absolutely. Look at that, that looks amazing. What a beautiful project. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That was wonderful to see how that goes together, and really nice to see dies used in a slightly different way than you might usually expect. Brilliant. Well, if you've enjoyed Lou's project, you can find all the step-by-steps as well as lovely photographs of the project as well online at docrafts.com. And we'd really love to see what you've been making as well. Upload your projects and we may pop along and leave you a comment. You can also keep up to date with what's going on at Do Crafts with our Facebook page. The details are on screen right now. We'd also really like to see what you think of the shows as well. You can leave us a comment below, maybe ask us a question that we can answer on a future episode of the show. Until next time, happy crafting.